Bugungi darsimizda Cambridge 17 test 1 analizini ko'rib chiqamiz. Listening analizini bu savolga javoblar chiqqani yo'q. Shuning uchun bugun hamma bilan ulashishga qaror qildik. Jo'rbekka rahmat, Jo'rbek Ielts kanaliga rahmat. Bu darslarni, bu bizga testni aniq bergani uchun, deliver qilib bergani uchun rahmat. Mana Jo'rbek Ielts kreditlarni berdik. Endi boshlasak bo'ladi bemalol. Xo'p, boshladik. Nima qilish kerak? Birinchi navbatda savollarni o'qib olishingiz kerak. Undan oldin instructionga qarashingiz kerak. One word or any number o'z ko'rganingizda bitta so'z yoki raqam yozishingiz kerak bo'lar ekan. Keyin backwards conservation group haqida ekan, undan keyin o'qishimiz kerak. Regular activities, bu qismda title'larga qarab olishingiz kerak. Bu qismda beach, headline, major reserves, forthcoming events. Xo'p, forthcoming events ga qaramaymiz hozircha. Making sure that beach doesn't have something on it. Garantировать qilishingiz kerak ekan, beach ustida nimadir bo'lmasa kerak ekan. Rubbish maybe ko'ramiz. No something, yana nimadir bo'lmasa kerak ekan ko'ramiz. Nature reserves. Nesting boxes, install it. Next task is taking action to attract something to the place. Keyingi action ekan, keyingi taskimiz, keyingi vazifamiz bu joyga nimalardir yoki kimlardir attract qilish kerak. Attract animals, attract tourists bo'lishi mumkin. Identifying types of something. Nimadir type of something, nimadir variantini, vidini identify qilish kerak ekan, определять qilish kerak ekan. Building a new what? Nimadir qurish kerak ekan o'tda. Bilmayman, ko'ramiz hozir. Keyin boshlaymiz endi bu qismni birgalikda.
Ielts 17, published by Cambridge University Press of Assessment 2022. This recording is copyright. Test 1. This is the Ielts listening test. You will hear a number of different recordings and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 parts. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to part 1.
Okay.
Part 1. You will hear a woman called Jan phoning a man about their local conservation group. First,
Who cares?
Look at questions 1 to 5.
1 to 5. 1 to 5 ga qarab oling dedi. Wait, you know, you will stay here in this video, your voice will forever, you understand? Shut up.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Unilagini turaveradi.
Hello.
Oh, hello. My name's John. Are you the right person to talk to about the Buckworth
Conservation group?
Yes, I'm Peter. I'm the secretary.
Peter.
Good. I've just moved to this area and I'm interested in getting involved. I was in a similar group where I used to live. Could you tell me something about your activities, please?
Okay.
Of course. Well, we have a mixture of regular activities and special events. One of the regular ones is trying to keep the beach free of litter. A few of us spend a couple of...
Trying to keep the beach free of litter. Degani making sure that beach doesn't have any litter on it. Demak, litter bo'ladi javob. Litter bo'ladi javob. Litter degani musor degani. O'sha musorni litter. Xo'p, qisqasi ketdik. Litter dedi, trying to keep the beach off the litter dedim, bir narsa dedi, qisqasi litter bo'ladi javob.
month on it, and it's awful how much there is to clear. I wish people would be more responsible and take it home with them.
Shut up.
I totally agree. I'd be happy to help with that. Is it okay to take dogs?
I'm afraid not, as they're banned from the beach itself.
No dogs. Banned from the beach itself. O'z ko'rganingizek, doglarni olib borish mumkin emas ekan. No dogs bo'ladi javob. Dogimni olib borsam bo'ladimi? Yo'q. Of course no. I'm sorry no dedimi? Unfortunately no. Nimadir dedi qisqasi. Bo'ldi, dog bo'ladi javob.
You can take them along the cliffs, though.
Men tinch deb o'ylaydi odamlar.
Children are welcome.
Right.
Children are welcome dedi.
Manage a nature reserve.
Qisqasi children bo'lmaydi javob. Children are welcome dedi. Children
There's
bo'lmaydi.
a lot to do there all year round.
Shut up.
For example, because it's a popular place to visit, we spend a lot of time looking after the paths and making sure they're in good condition for walking.
I could certainly help with that.
Good. And we have a program of creating new habitats there. We've just finished making and installing nesting boxes for birds to use. And next, we're going to work on encouraging insects. They're important for the...
Encouraging insects. Javob insect bo'ladi. Insect nima degani? Hasharot degani. Unaqa. Insects. Cockroach borku, cockroach. Unaqa. Nima edi u? Nima edi u? Cockroach nima edi? Insects. Ana nima deydi? Tarakan, tarakan qisqasi. Insects bo'ladi, encouraging insects edi. They are good for habitat, nimadir biodiversity qisqasi insect bo'ladi javob.
Diversity of the reserve.
Blah blah blah.
Certainly are.
Oh, and we're also running a project project to identify the different species of butterflies that
Butterflies bo'ladi javob. Identifying the different species of butterflies, species bu qismda turlari degan type sinonimi butterflies bo'ladi. Butterflies. Kings.
reserve. You might be interested in taking part in that.
Sure. I was involved in something similar where I used to live, counting all the species of moths. I'd enjoy that.
Another job we're doing at the reserve is replacing the wall on the southern side, between the parking area and our woodshed. It was badly damaged in a storm last month.
Okay.
Okay, replacing a wall dedi on the southern side dedi, new wall bo'ladi. Building a new wall bo'lar ekan qisqasi. Balki wall master ko'ramiz.
Before you hear
Well,
the
well,
rest
okay.
of the conversation,
Qisqasi wall ekan.
you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10.
Endi o'qiymiz bolalar. First coming event Saturdayni ko'ramiz. Meet at Duncan blah blah blah, walk across the sands and reach the sand bilan yurar ekanmiz, qayoqqadir borar ekanmiz. Location bo'ladi. Take a picnic where appropriate. Nimadir kiyish kerak ekan. Where appropriate like shoes bo'lishi mumkin, where appropriate clothes bo'lishi mumkin ko'ramiz. Woodwork session suitable for to participate in. Suitable for patqadashi degani to'g'ri keladigani kimgadir ekan. Suitable for children, suitable for elderly people, suitable for men, women, girls, like who cares? Shut up, we are discussing it. Shut up. Making something out of wood, ya'ni wooddan, yog'ochdan nimadir yaratish kerak ekan. Making toys maybe out of wood, making clocks, but who cares? Cars. Cost of session no camping. No camping bilan qo'shganda cost of session nima bo'lar ekan? Bo'tta poundni anusini berib qo'ygan sizga nima edi? No camping qo'shmaganda poundni anusini berib qo'yibdi sizga. Ramzan просто siz 20 pound, 30 pound, 40 pound qilib yozishingiz kerak bo'ladi. Keyingisi ketdik birga.
Questions 6 to 10.
Let's go.
Then, as I said, we have a program of events as well, both at the weekend and during the week.
Right. I presume you have guided walks. I'd like to get to know the local countryside as I'm new to the area.
Yes, we do. The next walk is to Ruston Island a week on Saturday. We'll be meeting in the car park at Dunsmore Beach at low tide. That's when the sands are dry enough for us to walk to the island without getting wet.
On the sands, walk to the island without getting wet. Reach the island bo'ladi, Island bo'ladi.
The island's a great place to explore. It's quite small and it's got a range of habitats.
Okay.
It's also an ideal location for seeing seals just off the coast or even on the beach.
Okay. And is there anything we should bring? Like a picnic, for instance?
Yes, do bring one, as it's a full day walk. And of course, it'll be wet walking across and back, so make sure your boots are waterproof.
Boots are waterproof. Make sure that your boots are waterproof and etiging waterproof boots and wear appropriate boots bo'ladi. Boots. Double O baraka topib kirlar.
A new pair. There's a hole in one of my current ones.
Oh, teshik
Well,
ekan.
I'd definitely like to come on the walk.
Great. Then later this month, we're having a one-day woodwork session in Hopton Wood.
I've never tried that before.
Okay.
Is it okay for beginners to take part?
Definitely. There'll be
Is it okay for beginners to take part? Dedi anoqischa keyin definitely dedi. Demak, suitable for beginners bo'ladi. Beginners. Tentada o'ylayman.
experts leading the session, and we keep the number of participants down, so you'll get as much help as you need.
Excellent. I'd love to be able to make chairs.
That's probably too ambitious for one day.
Oh, I want to make chairs. That's probably too ambitious. Demak, chair bo'lmaydi javob.
We'll be starting with wooden spoons.
You'll be starting with wooden spoons. Demak, spoon yaratar. Qoshiq nima edi? Spoons. Yaratar ekansiz out of wood. Realni tentada o'ylayman.
It's learning how to use the tools. And anything you make is yours to take home with you.
Oh, great.
That sounds like fun. When is it?
It's on the 17th from 10 a.m. until 3. There's a charge of £35, including lunch, or £40 if you want to camp in the wood.
I think I'll come home this evening.
Ko'rganingizdek, 35 pounds including lunch dedi, 40 pounds if you want to camp dedi. Demak, no camping bilan bizga 35 pounds bo'lish kerak. 40 yozib qo'ysanglar uxladinglar degani. 35 yozib qo'yinglar bo'ldi. Demak, shu bilan birinchi section o'z nihoyasiga yetadi. Keyingisiga o'tamiz bolalar. Keyingisiga o'tamiz. Section 2.
Well, I'd certainly like to
Whatever.
That is the end of part 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers to part 1.
Check it. Boat trip around Tasmania. What's the maximum number of people who can stand on each side of the boat? 9, 15, 18.
Part 2. You will hear a tour guide,
What are the
Miller,
tables?
speaking to a group of people about a boat trip they are going to take around the
Dark
Australian
red,
island of
jet
Tasmania.
black, light
First, you have some
pink.
time to look at questions 11 to 14.
Which lunchbox is suitable for someone who doesn't eat meat or fish? Lunchbox 1, 2, 3. What should people do with their litter? Take it home, hand it to a member of staff, put it in the bins provided on the boat. Tushunarli. Xo'p, qisqasi birinchi navbatda buni analiz qilishimiz kerak. Qarang, what's the maximum number of people who can stand on the each side of the boat? Demak, boatni qayiqni har bir qismida, saydida turishi mumkin bo'lgan maximum number of people, ya'ni maksimal miqdordagi odamlar 9, 15, 18 ko'rishimiz kerak. What color are the turbotlar? Qanaqa colorda? Sizni aniq tashlaydi. Katta ehtimollik bilan chalkashtirib tashlaydi. Dark red edi, jet blue qilmoqchimiz, jet black qilmoqchimiz, lekin hozir light green deyish mumkin. E'tibor bering. Which lunchbox is suitable for someone who doesn't eat meat or fish? Demak, meat bilan fish yemaydigan bo'lsang, qaysi bir lunchbox to'g'ri keladi? 14. What should people do with their litter? Litter bilan nima qilish kerak? Uyga bor, member of staffga jo'natib bor, berib bor, boatda berilgan binlarga qo'yib qo'y debdi. Xo'p, ko'ramiz buni. Come on.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 14.
Easy.
So, hello everyone, my name's Lou Miller and I'm going to be your tour guide today as we take this fantastic boat trip around the Tasmanian coast. Before we set off, I just want to tell you a few things about our journey. Our boats aren't huge, as you can see. We already have 3 staff members on board, and on top of that, we can transport a further 15 people, that's you, around the coastline. But please note, if there are more than 9 people on either side of the boat, we'll move some of you over. Otherwise, all 18 of us will end up in the sea.
O'zingiz ko'rganingizdek, bizda 3 ta staff member bor, 15 tani olib olamiz. Bu sanlar 18 ta bo'lar ekan, lekin bitta tomonda one side'da 9 tadan oshib ketib qolsa, boshqalaringni boshqa joyga olishga majbur bo'lamiz, chunki hammamiz siga ag'darilib uxlaymiz degan ma'no bor. 15 emas, 18 emas, 9 bo'ladi javob. Tushundinglar degan umiddaman.
We've recently upgraded all our boats. They used to be jet black, but our new ones now have these comfortable dark red seats and a light green exterior in order to stand out from others and
O'zingiz ko'rganingizdek, upgraded the boats dedi, oldin jet black, they used to be dedi, oldin used to struktura edi, used to be jet black dedi, qora bo'lardi, lekin hozir dark red seats bo'ldi dedi. Bo'lmaydi barga topkurlar. Dark red seats bor, light green exterior dedi, ya'ni tashqi ko'rinishi light green, seatlari dark red bo'ladi. Sizlarga mana trick qildi, sizlarni aldamoqchi bo'ldi, shu aldanmaydi, aldanmay qolinglar, nima bo'ladi? Who cares? Like, see bo'ladi javob, qisqasi, tamom.
promote our company. This gives our boats a rather unique appearance, don't you think? We offer you a free lunchbox during the trip, and we have 3 types. Lunchbox 1 contains ham and tomato sandwiches. Lunchbox 2 contains a cheddar cheese roll, and lunchbox 3 is salad based and also contains eggs and tuna. All 3 lunchboxes also have a packet of crisps and chocolate bar inside.
Who cares? Lunchbox edi, birinchisi tomato sandwich dedi. Demak, bo'lar ekan. Bida qanaqadir anoni etdi, qisqasi rollsdan bir narsada meat etdi, uchinchisida tuna bor dedi. Demak, meat or fish bo'lsa, uchinchisida fish bor ekan, tuna bor ekan, ikkinchisida qanaqadir go'sht bor ekan, shuning uchun ham ayni olamiz. Tuna fish. You see, you have to know the word tuna. Tuna degan so'zni bilmasanglar, fish degan bilmasanglar, uxlaysizlar. Nope. I don't know. Tuna deb qisqasi tuna degan javob bo'lgani uchun ham C bo'lmaydi. Lekin bini ham uncha eshitmay qoldim-da, bilmadim. Bi nima dedi bilmayman. Balki xatodir yoki hozir yoki da qisqasi javob bo'lib keyingi o'tamiz. Let's go.
Please let staff know which lunchbox you prefer. I'm sure I don't have to ask you not to throw anything into the sea. We don't have any bins to put litter in, but Jess, myself, or Ray, our other guide, will collect it from you after lunch and put it all in a large plastic sack.
Qisqasi, men aytib o'tirishim shart emas, litrlaringni, musorlaringni dengizga otib yuborma. Bizda boatimizda bin yo'q. Men bilan o'rtoqlarim members of staff collect qiladi, bizga ber dedi. Take it home. Keyin nimagadir tashlayman dedi. Take it home degan gap yo'lga uchun ham bin olamiz bu qismda. Xo'p, 15 dan 20 gacha o'qib qolishimiz kerak hozir.
Before you hear the rest of the
Shut up. Choose two letters, A to E. What features of the lighthouse does Lou mention? Lighthouse dan bashne bo'ladi-ku. O'shani featurelari bor ekan. Why it was built? Nimaga qurilgan? Who built it? Kim qurgan? How long it took to build? Qancha ketgan? Who staffed it? Ya'ni kim tomonidan staff menimcha o'tda ishchi bilan joylashtirilgan. What it was built with? Nima bilan qurilgan? What does it mean? Bilmayman. What types of creature might come close to the boat? Boatga qanaqa creature, qanaqa sуществование nima deydi? O'sha creature yaqin kelishi mumkin. Mavjudot. Sea eagle kelishi mumkin, fur seals kelishi mumkin, dolphin kelishi mumkin, wild penguin kelishi mumkin. Ko'ramiz. Xo'p, 19-20. 2 points does Lou make about the caves? Cavelar haqida nima der ekan? Only large tourist boats can visit them. Large tourist boats can visit qilishi mumkin. Entrances are often blocked. Too dangerous for individuals to go near them. Someone will explain what inside them. They cannot be reached on foot. Xo'p, qisqasi, katta turist boatlari kirishi mumkin. Entrance vходlari blok qo'yilgan. Individuallar uchun yaqin borish uchun juda ham dangerous, ya'ni xavfli. Kimdir tushuntirar ekan, uni ichida nima borligini, qo'lda on foot, ya'ni piyoda yetib borib bo'lmas ekan. Xo'p, keling ishlaymiz.
You have some time to look at questions 15 to 20.
Too easy. Too easy and boring. Too easy. Seriously too easy. No? Shunaqa tushsa lekin 40 o'qimagan odam sharmanda-da. Sharmanda.
Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
Let's go.
The engine on the boat makes quite a lot of noise, so before we head off, let me tell you a few things about what you're going to see. This area is famous for its ancient lighthouse, which you'll see from the boat as we turn past the first little island.
Okay.
It was built in 1838 to protect sailors, as a number of shipwrecks had led to significant loss of life. The construction itself was complicated, as some of the original drawings kept by the local council show. It sits right on top of the cliffs in a very isolated spot. In the 19th century, there were many jobs there, such as polishing the brass lamps, chopping firewood, and cleaning windows that kept lighthouse keepers busy. These workers were mainly prison convicts until the middle of that century, when ordinary families willing to live in such circumstances took over. Some of you have asked me what creature...
Bo'ldi. Creature o'tdi. 17-18 endi eshitamiz. Xo'p, nima bo'lgan ekan? Who built it haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Qachon qurilgani haqida ma'lumot yo'q, lekin how long, qancha vaqt ketgani haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Why it was built ma'lumot bor. Ayni olamiz, chunki shu protect the boats ida o'sha kemalar lighthouse bo'lish tomonidan urilib, qoyalar urilib, buzilib yo'q ketgan ekan. Lighthouse o'sha uchun, o'shani oldini olish uchun, protect qilish uchun qurilgan ekan. Who staffed bor, masalan, prison celldagi bechora prison convictlar, prison convict edi, o'sha mahbuslar staff qilgan ekan, o'sha ishlarni qilgan ekan, cleaning ishlarni qilgan ekan, undan keyin ondan normal odamlar kelgan ekan. Qisqasi A bilan D bo'ladi. What it was built with haqida ma'lumot yo'q. B, C, E chiqib ketdi, A bilan D javob bo'ldi. Endi creaturelar haqida gaplashamiz.
We can expect to see. I know everyone loves the penguins, but they're very shy and unfortunately tend to hide from passing boats. But you might see birds in the distance, such as sea eagles, flying around the cliff edges where they nest. When we get to the rocky area inhabited by fur seals, we'll stop and watch them swimming around the coast. They're inquisitive creatures, so don't be...
Come on, really? Seriously? Sorry.
Surprised if one pops up right in front of you. Their predators, orca whales, hunt along the coastline too, but spotting one of these is rare. Dolphins, on the other hand, can sometimes approach on their own or in groups as they ride the waves beside us. Lastly, I want to mention...
Javoblar dolphin bo'ldi, fur seal bo'ldi. Nimaga unaqa bo'ldi? sea eagle bo'ladi, distancedan ko'rasan dedi. Qoyalarda o'sha nestlar qurgan joyda o'shalar yurgan bo'ladi. Distancedan ko'rasan dedi. Distance yaqin emasligi uchun ham eni olib tashlaymiz. First yearlar inquisitive dedi. Inquisitive degani o'sha qiziqqon bir narsalarda o'sha inquisitive creatures yoningdan pop-up chiqib qolsa, undan hayron bo'lib o'tirma, qo'rqib o'tirma dedi. Shuning uchun ham bini olamiz. Dolphin dedi. Dolphinlar bir o'zi kelishi mumkin, o'rtoqlar bilan kelishi mumkin dedi. O'sha uchun ham sini olamiz. Whales dedi. First yearlarni predatorlari whales o'sha first yearlarni yergan, lekin ularni uzoqdan ko'rib bo'lmas ekan, qisqasi. Penguinlar shy creature dedi. Penguinlar shy creature dedimi? Penguinlar shy dedi, qo'rqoq ekan, uyatchan ekan, qilar ekan, o'sha uchun ham kelmas ekan, qisqasi. Shu javob nima bo'ladi? B bilan C bo'ladi javob. Bo'ldi.
Caves. Tasmania is famous for its caves, and the ones we'll pass by are so amazing that people are lost for words when they see them.
Okay.
They can only be approached by sea, but if you feel that you want to see more than we're able to show you, then you can take a kayak into the area on another day, and one of our staff will give you more information on that. What we'll do is to go through a narrow channel past some incredible rock formations, and from there we'll be able to see the openings to the caves, and at that point we'll talk to you about what lies beyond.
Tushunarli, bu bilan D bilan E bo'ldi. Nima uchun? Large boat bo'lmaydi, chunki kayak bilan bir o'zing borsang bo'ladi dedi. Demak, large emas-ku, kayak kichkina, bitta odam chiqadigan, ikkita odam chiqadigan joy. Entrance block demadi, entrance yoniga borganimizda senga ichida nima borligini tushuntiramiz dedi. Kimdir aytib beradi dedi. Too dangerous for individuals to go near them demadi, chunki bemalol kayak bilan borib bo'lsang dangerous emas. Some will explain what is inside them aytdi. D dedi, they cannot be reached on foot. Faqatgina C bilan, ya'ni dengiz orqali ana bosib borligi uchun ham piyoda yurib bo'lmaydi. Walk qilib yurib bo'lmaydi. Don't stop. Qancha bo'ldi? Necha minut bo'ldi? Qisqasi E bo'ldi javob. D bilan E bo'ldi. Hammasiga javob topyapmiz lekin. Too easy.
It's the end of part 2.
Okay.
You now have half a minute to check your answers to part 2.
Check it. Work experience for veterinary science students. What problem do boss then have arranged their work experience?
Part 3. You will hear 2 veterinary science students called Diana and Tim discussing their work placements and their course modules. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26. Now listen carefully and answer.
Shut up, we're reading. Amount of given on the time. Xo'p, qisqasi analizni boshlaymiz. What problem was Diana and Tim have when arranging their work experience? O'zini work experience-larini arrange qilganda Tim bilan Dianada qanaqa ikkalasida ham muammo bo'lgan dedi. U yerda sizlarga tik qiladi. Nima deydi? Voy, menda bu muammo bo'ldi, menda bu muammo bo'lmadi degan gap bo'ladi. O'shanga e'tibor bering. Mana Dianada bo'lgan muammo Timda bo'lmay qolishi mumkin, Timda bo'lgan muammo Dianada bo'lmasligi mumkin. Xo'p, initial contact, suitable farm keywordlar, organizing transport keyword, finding placement keyword. Tim was pleased, lamp, broken leg keyword, qisqasi black bo'tda ma'lumot bo'ladi. Difficulty giving birth bo'ladi. Trouble feeding keyword bo'ladi. Bu qismda faqatgina feeding, broken leg, difficulty giving birth keyword bo'ladi. Lamb, sheep bizga umuman qiziq emas. Diana says the sheep are on her farm, various varieties, ya'ni turli xilda bo'lgan. Reared meat, faqat meat uchun, go'sht uchun aniq qilingan, mainly asosan eshittirilgan. Undan keyin wool, juni yaxshiroq bo'lgan ekan, hilldagilardan ko'ra. Yeah. Xo'p, what did students learn about adding supplements? Nimani o'rgangan ekan? Only given special needed. Agargina maxsus kerak bo'lsa, o'sha vaqtda berilishi kerak ekan. Words paying extra most demak, eng effektivlari uchun qimmatroq to'lasa ham bo'lar ekan. Amount given at one time should be limited. Demak, bir martasiga beradigan miqdoring yetarlicha limit bo'lishi kerak. Masalan, 100 gram bera olmaysan, 100 gramdan ko'p bera olmaysan. Shunaqa gapda ma'lumotlar bo'lishi kerak. What happened when Diana was working with dairy cows? Dianaga nima bo'lgan ekan? Dairy cow bilan gaplashayotganda, yo'q, ishlayotganda. Gaplashmaydi cowlar bilan, gaplashib bo'lmaydi cowlar bilan. She identified some cows incorrectly. Demak, bir ikkita cowlarni, sigirlarni incorrectly, ya'ni noto'g'ri identify, ya'ni определять qilib qo'yibdi. Accidentally threw some milk away. Oh, you stupid girl. Demak, sam sutni tashib yuboribdi accidentally, bilmagan holda. Mistake when storing milk. Demak, milkni store qilayotganda, ya'ni saqlab qo'yayotganda xato qilibdi. Mistake qilibdi. Qisqasi topamiz. 26. What did both farmers mention about weights and farming? nima degani what did both farmers mention about vets and farming? Vets are failing to cope with some aspects of animal health. There needs to be fundamental change in the training of vets. Some jobs should be done by farmer rather than vet. O'zi ko'rganingizdek, qisqasi vetlar umuman ne'udatchiliklar qisqasi animallarning healthini aspektlarini to'g'ri qilolmayapti. B'da training vetlarni trainingida o'zgartirishlar qilish kerak. C'da fermerlar, mana bir ikkita ishlarni fermerlar qilish kerak. Vetlarga nima kerak bo'lsin degan ma'lumotlar bor, topish kerak.
Questions 21 to 26.
So, Tim, we have to do a short summary of our work experience on a farm.
Right. My farm was great, but arranging the work experience was hard. One problem was it was miles away, and I don't drive. And also, I'd really wanted a placement for a month, but I could only get one for 2 weeks.
I was lucky. The farmer let me stay on the farm, so I didn't have to travel. But finding the right sort of farm to apply to wasn't easy.
No, they don't seem to have websites, do they? I found mine through a friend of my mother's, but it wasn't easy.
No.
Nima bo'ldi? Teamda you got scared. Teamda qisqasi uchrashda muammo bo'lgan ekan, transport mile away bo'lgan ekan, shuning uchun muammo bo'lgan ekan. Finding placement 1 oy qolgan ekan, lekin 2 hafta berishgan ekan. Erta men o'sha fermer uyida turdim, men lucky edim, B chiqib ketdi. Lekin placement haqida umuman gapirmadim, men Dayana, lekin initial contact'im yomon qiyin bo'ldi, topishga juda ham qiynaldim dedi. Team ham aytdi, men ham qiynaldim, oyimni o'rtog'ini bir narsasi bilan topib ketdim, qiyin bo'ldi, veb-sayt yo'qligi uchun real qiyin ekan dedi. O'sha uchun ham javob A bo'ladi. B emas, A bo'ladi javob. Keyingiga o'tamiz.
My farm was mostly livestock, especially sheep. I really enjoyed helping out with them. I was up most of one night helping a sheep deliver a lamb.
On your own?
No, the farmer was there, and he told me what to do. It wasn't a straightforward birth, but I managed. It was a great feeling to see the lamb stagger to its feet and start feeding almost straight away, and to know that it was okay. Then another time, a lamb had broken its leg, and they got the vet in to set it, and he talked me through what he was doing. That was really useful.
Yes, my farm had sheep.
Shut up. Xo'p, nima bo'lgan ekan? Team was pleased dedi. Pleased demadimi? Glad dedimi? Bir narsa dedi. Qisqasi pleasedni sinonimini aytdi. Happy dedimi? Qisqasi giving birth bilan difficulty qilayotgan sheepga yordam bergan ekan. O'zing qildingmi dedi Dayana. Yo'q, o'zim qilmadim. Mana fermer aytib turdi, "Mana bunaqa qilasan" dedi. Men shu qildim dedi. Broken leg bilan lamb dedi. Buni ham aytdi, lekin men qilganim yo'q dedi. U vet keldida menga aytib turdi, "Men bunaqa qilolman shu uchun." It was useful dedi. Pleased emasdi. Trouble feeding bo'lmadi, chunki o'zi ko'rgazay trouble feeding bo'lmadi, chunki u turgandan anaqa qilgandan tug'ilgandan feeding qilib ketgan, o'sha uchun ham trouble bo'lmagan. C bo'lmaydi javob. B bo'ladi javob. Juda ham detalni ketyapman. 23.
The farm was in a valley and they had a lowland breed called Suffolk, although the farmer said they'd had other breeds in the past.
So, were they bred for their meat?
Mostly, yes. They're quite big and solid.
My farm was up in the hills, and they had a different breed of sheep. They were Cheviots.
Oh, I heard their wool's really sought after.
Yes, it's very hard wearing. And they
Stop it. Xo'p, bilmayman hozir. Sal o'tdi, attentionim o'tib ketib qoldi, lekin ana bo'lishi aniq, B bo'lishi aniq, chunki bitta varietyni qilar ekan, lekin aytdi, fermerim aytdi, oldin boshqa varietyni ham, turli xil varietylarni ham o'rgan ekan, shuning uchun ham chiqib ketadi. Where are they mainly kept for their meat dedi, no Tim. Shunaqa dedi, asosan mostly dedi, uchun ham B bo'ladi. C bo'lmaganining sababi ana Tim gap qo'shib ketdi. Juda ham mahmadona bola ekan. Men hilldagilardan sheeplarni ko'rdim. Wool-lari zo'r ekan dedi. Wool-lari sought after dedi. Sought after seek afterni so'zi qidiriladi. Demak, bu mashhur. Demak, hilldagilar zo'rroq bu Dayananidan ko'ra yoki umuman informatsiya umuman berilgani yo'q. Shuning uchun ham javob B bo'ladi. Charchadim. Wow.
Zipper carpets.
Right.
I was interested in the amount of supplements they add to animals' feed nowadays.
Okay.
Like, even the chickens got extra vitamins and electrolytes in their feed.
Yes, I found that too. And they're not cheap. But my farmer said some are overpriced for what they are. And he didn't give them as a matter of routine, just at times when the chickens seemed to particularly require them.
Yes, mine said the same. He said certain breeds of chickens might need more supplements than the others, but the cheap and expensive ones are all basically the same. So, did you...
Shut up. Qisqasi nima bo'ldi? Ular supplementni ko'rdi, chicken feedlarga ham qo'yilar ekan. Mani fermerim aytdi, Diana aytdi, mani fermerim aytdi, ko'plari overpriced dedi, lekin farqi yo'q dedi, bir xil narsa dedi. O'sha uchun ham B ni olib tashlaymiz, chunki most effective onlarga to'lash shart emas, chunki prosta hammasi bir xil. Aytdi, ana limited degan ma'lumotni aytgani yo'q, chunki u faqatgina u regularly bermaysan, faqatgina kerakli chickenlar xohlayotgan vaqtda berasan dedi. O'sha uchun ham ayni olamiz. Chickenga bu farq qiladi dedi. O'sha uchun ham ayni olamiz. C haqida gap uncha ko'p bo'lgani yo'q. Shuning uchun ham 25 ga o'tamiz.
Your farm have any other livestock, Diana?
Yes, dairy cows. I made a really embarrassing mistake when I was working in the milk shed. Some cows had been treated with antibiotics, so their milk wasn't suitable for human consumption, and it had to be put in a separate container. But I got mixed up, and I poured some milk from the wrong cow in with the milk for humans. So the whole lot had to be thrown away.
Stupid.
The farmer wasn't too happy with me.
I asked my farmer how much he depended on the vet.
Qisqasi Diana bilan working cow bilan dairy cow bilan mana shuni aniq qilish kerak-da. Ana skriptlarni topish kerak-da. Skriptlarni topib olar ekanman shuni. Yomon adashdik lekin. Technical mistake. Sal shoshdik-da. Mayli, bo'ldi. Bo'ldi. Ketaveramiz endi. Shu qisqasi nima bo'ldi? Bir ikkitasi antibiotiklar olgan ekan. U antibiotik olganlari milklari aniq qilmas ekan. To'g'ri emas ekan, human consumptionga bo'lmas ekan. Bu tintek o'sha antibiotik olgan milklarni human milkga shunday qo'shib olgan ekanda, keyin hammasini tashlashga majbur bo'lishgan ekan. Fermer bundan ana bo'lmagan ekan, xafa bo'lgan ekan, jahli chiqqan ekan. Shuning uchun ham C ni oldik. Tashlab yubormagan, qo'shib yuborgan ular. Qo'shib yuborgandan keyin tin tashlab yuborishga majbur bo'lgan. Made a mistake, to'g'ri? Adashib qo'shib yuborgan ikkalasini rasvo qilgan hammasini. Qisqasi ahmoq qiz ekanda, ahmoq qiz. Ketdik.
Deal with health problems. I'd read reports that the livestock's health is being affected as farmers are under pressure to increase production. Well, he didn't agree with that. But he said that actually some of the stuff the vets do, like minor operations, he'd be quite capable of doing himself.
Yeah, my farmer said the same.
Mana, my farmer said the same. Mana, my farmer said the same degani ikkalasi ham agree qilgan. Mana, why did both farmers mention about? Ikkalasi ham nimani aytgan? Xo'p, ko'pchiliklari o'sha qisqasi mana bunaqa ayni ham aytdi. Ko'p qilolmayotgan ekan, lekin buni mani fermerim rozi bo'lmadi, bunga agree qilmadi. Mana bor fermerim aytdiki, veterinarlar some minor problemlari bor, minor ishlarini men ham qilardim, quite capable bo'lardim, qilishga imkoniyatim bo'lardi dedi. My farmer said the same deb ana Diana ham og'iz anasini tiqdi, burnini tiqdi shunaqa joyga. Qisqasi shu bilan C bo'lar ekan. I'm tired.
He reckons vet skills are still needed.
O'qiymiz. Medical terminology.
Hear the rest of the conversation. You have some time to look at questions 27 to 30.
Okay. Diet and nutrition, animal disease, wildlife medication. Tim found it's easier than expected. Tim thought it was not very clearly organized. Diana shut up, we're reading. Diana may do some further study on this. Hope. They both found reading required this was difficult. What? They both found that the reading required for this was difficult. Tim was shocked at some thing he learned on this module. They were both surprised how little is known about some aspects of this. Hope. Demak, medical terminology, diet and nutrition, animal disease va wildlife medication haqida berilgan fikrlarni topishimiz kerak ekan. Ayda Tim qiyin bo'lishini kutgan, lekin easier bo'lgan. B'da Tim o'ylagan bu organizm emas, messy, bunaqa betartib. C'da Diana aytdi, men shu o'rganishim kerak, hozirroq yana bilmas ekanman dedi. D'da o'sha majbur o'sha required reading, ya'ni talab qilinadigan readinglar, o'sha reading materiallari qiyin ekan. Ida Tim shocked bo'libdi, nimadir o'rganib olganiga, wow, nimaga unaqa debdi. Keyin oxirgisida F'da bir ikkita ma'lumotlar how little is known, ya'ni ma'lumot yo'qligidan surprised bo'libdi. Topamiz endi javoblarni.
27 to 30.
Let's go.
Now we've got to give a bit of feedback about last term's modules. Just short comments, apparently. Shall we do that now?
Okay. So, medical terminology.
Well, my heart sank when I saw that, especially right at the beginning of the course, and I did struggle with it.
I thought it'd be hard, but actually, I found it all quite straightforward.
Mana javob A bo'ladi. Qisqasi, Diana uxlabdi. Endi yozib qo'ydi prosta. Xo'p, Diana uxlabdi. My heart sunk dedi. Mana yuragim tushib ketdi dedi. Juda ham qiyin bo'ldi dedi. Temiddi. I thought it was difficult. Ya'ni qiyin bo'ladi deb o'ylagandim, lekin straightforward, to'g'ridan-to'g'ri, tek oson ekan, bo'lar ekan, normal qilsa bo'lar ekan, ish ekan dedi. O'sha uchun ham javobni A qilib olamiz.
What did you think about diet and nutrition?
Okay, I suppose.
Do you remember what they told us about pet food? And the fact that there's such limited checking into whether or not it's contaminated? I mean, in comparison with the checks on food for humans, I thought that was terrible.
I thought that was terrible. Nimadir cheklar qilibdi, bir narsalar bo'libdi. Checks on humansdan boshqacharoq bo'lar ekan. I thought it was terrible. Demak, bu shok bo'lgan, o'sha narsani topib olgandan, shuning uchun ham E bo'ladi.
I think the module that really impressed me was the animal disease one, when we looked at domesticated animals in different parts of the world, like camels and water buffalo and alpaca. The economies of so many countries depend on these, but scientists don't know much about the diseases that affect them.
Yes. I thought they'd know a lot about ways of controlling and eradicating those diseases, but that's not the case at all. I loved the wildlife medication unit.
O'tkazib yubordim. Mana-da F bo'ladi javob. Nimaga F bo'lishini hozir tushuntiraman. Qisqasi, men camellar zo'r bo'ldi, juda ham qiziqdim, lekin shunchalik shocking narsaki, anolar shunaqa animal bu camellarni attack qiladigan diseaselarni scientistlar bilmaydi. O'sha meni hayratlantirdi-da. Temam shunaqa edi. Realni shunaqa ekan dedi. O'sha uchun ham mana they were both surprised how little is known about some aspect. Demak, bu nima uchun scientistlar bilmasligi haqida surprise qilingan. O'sha uchun ham 29 F bo'ladi. Javob F bo'ladi. Menga ishoninglar, lekin men bu qiz meni aniq qilib tashgani uchun, distract qilib tashgani uchun javoblarni sizlarga tushuntirib bera olmadim. Don't do it.
Things like helping birds that have been caught in oil spills. That's something I hadn't thought about before.
Yeah, I thought I might write my dissertation on something connected with that.
Right. So, actually, I was thinking something along the same
I thought that I will be my dissertation on that. C bo'ladi javob. Faqat Diana aytdi, men o'ylaymanki, men dissertationimni shuni yoqlayman dedi. Demak, study bo'ladi, C bo'ladi menimcha javob. Right emas, men e'tibor bermay qoldim shu narsaga. C ham bo'lmasligi ham mumkin-da, qisqasi. Who cares, right? Who cares? We're giving the video, whatever it is. Keyingisga. Ya'ni qolib ketadi, shu 15-20 yilga qolib ketadi shu video endi. Ketdik. Labyrinth, one word only. Bitta so'z. Qaranglar, e'tibor beringlar. Shut up.
You now have half a minute to check your answers to
Hop, mayli. E'tibor beringlar, instructionga one word only. Faqatgina bitta so'z yozishimiz kerak, baraka topkirlar. Ko'p so'z yozib yubormanglar. E'tiborli bo'linglar. Undan keyin o'tamiz. Labyrinth.
You will hear an anthropology student giving a
Definition.
presentation on spiral path designs known as labyrinth. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
O'z ko'rganingiz labyrinth bu qismga nima e'tibor berish kerak? Xo'p, birinchi navbatda ta'tilga e'tibor berish kerak. Qalin qilib yozib qo'yibdi. Definition yozib qo'yibdi. Labyrinth compared to mazes yozib qo'yibdi. Examples of labyrinth spiral yozib qo'yibdi. Walking labyrinth yozib qo'yibdi. Labyrinth nowadays yozib qo'yibdi. Nimaga e'tibor berishingiz kerak? Bunda don't stop. E'tibor berishingiz kerak bo'lgan narsa, agar masalan 31 sekund o'tkazib, 30 tur o'tkazib yuborsizmi? Early exampledan wow, this 35 kelyapti deysiz, 35 ga anaqa olasiz. Kelib olasizda, o'zingizda trackga tushib olasiz. O'shuning uchun nima qilishingiz kerak? Hamma narsani o'qishingiz kerak, e'tiborli bo'lishingiz kerak. Mana maze are type of nima? Type of buildingmi? Qanaqadir narsa bo'ladi, inshoot bo'ladi, joy bo'ladi menimcha. 31 ga noun bo'ladi. 32 is needed to navigate through a maze. Nimadir kerak ekan, maze bo'yicha navigate qilish uchun. Bilmayman. Karta kerakmi, bilmayman. Intuitsiya kerakmi, ko'ramiz. What maze is derived from a word meaning a feeling of, qanaqadir feeling of degan so'zdan olingan ekan. Confusion maybe. They have frequently been used in something and prayer. Demak, duoda yana nimadirda ishlatilgan ekan. Bu qanaqadir action bo'ladi 34. Ancient carvings on have been found across many cultures. Ancient carvings on mountains maybe, caves bo'ladi. Qanaqadir carvinglar, qirilgan narsalarni ko'rgan ekan. Topamiz. Oh, cave bo'ladi javob. Mountain bo'lishi mumkin javob. Bilmayman, ko'ramiz. Ancient Greeks used the symbol on. Ko'ramiz. The largest surviving examples of a turf labyrinth once had a big something at its center. Big dragon maybe ko'ramiz, nima ko'ramiz. Believed to have beneficial impact on mental and physical development. Walking a maze can reduce a person's heart rate bo'lishi mumkin mana. Blood pressure rate bilmayman ko'ramiz. Patients who can walk use fingers labyrinths made from sticks maybe whatever. Qanaqadir detal ana bo'ladi, material bo'ladi. Research shows that Alzheimer's sufferers experience less headache bir narsalar bo'ladi. Qisqasi keling javoblarni topishga harakat qilamiz endi. Ketdik. Let's go people. I'm crazy. And stupid.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40. Labyrinths have existed for well over 4,000 years. Labyrinths and labyrinthine symbols have been found in regions as diverse as modern-day Turkey, Ireland, Greece, and India.
I don't care.
There are various designs of labyrinth, but what they all have in common is a winding spiral path which leads to a central area. There is one starting point at the entrance, and the goal is to reach the central area. Finding your way through a labyrinth involves many twists and turns, but it's not possible to get lost, as there is only one single path. In modern times, the word labyrinth has taken on a different meaning, and is often used as a synonym for a maze. A maze is quite different, as it is a kind of puzzle with a...
It's a kind of puzzle bo'ldi javob. Puzzle. Demak kind of type of synonym. Ketdik.
intricate network of paths. Mazes became fashionable in the 15th and 16th centuries in Europe, and can still be found in the gardens of great houses and palaces. The paths are usually surrounded by thick, high hedges, so that it's not possible to see over them. Entering a maze usually involves getting lost a few times before using logic to work out the pattern and...
Logic is needed. Logika kerak ekan, navigate qilish uchun.
Find your way to the center and then out again. There are lots of dead ends and paths which lead you back to where you started. The word maze is believed to come from a Scandinavian word for a state of confusion.
Confusion dedim bu javobni. Javob confusion dedim, confusion bo'ldi. Ko'rasizlarmi? I know everything. Confusion. Confusion degani chalkash degani.
This is where the word amazing comes from.
Amazing. Wow.
Labyrinths, on the other hand, have a very different function. Although people now often refer to things they find complicated as labyrinths, this is not how they were seen in the past. The winding spiral of the labyrinth has been used for centuries as a metaphor for life's journey. It served as a spiritual reminder that there is purpose and meaning to our lives, and helped to give people a sense of direction. Labyrinths are thought to encourage a feeling of calm, and have been used as a meditation and prayer tool.
Meditation and a prayer tool. Meditation or meditation. Juda oson. Too easy. Too really easy.
In many cultures over many centuries, the earliest examples of the labyrinth spiral pattern have been found carved into stone, from Sardinia to Scandinavia.
Oh, carved into stone dedi-ku. Stone bo'ladi. Stone. Javob stone bo'lishi kerak. Men bilmadim, ko'ramiz.
From Arizona to India to Africa. In Europe, these spiral carvings date from the late Bronze Age. The Native American Pima tribe
Stone bo'ladi.
wove baskets with a circular labyrinth design that depicted their own cosmology.
Interesting.
In ancient Greece, the labyrinth spiral was used on coins around 4,000 years ago.
Coins. Coins.
Labyrinths made of mosaics were commonly found in bathhouses, villas, and tombs throughout the Roman Empire. In Northern Europe, there were actual physical labyrinths designed for walking on. These were cut into the turf or grass, usually in a circular pattern. The origin of these walking labyrinths remains unclear, but they were probably used for fertility rites, which may date back thousands of years. 11 examples of turf labyrinths survive today, including the largest one at Saffron Walden, England, which used to have a tree in the middle of it.
Large tree. Bigni synonym tree bo'ldi. In the middle of it dedi. At the center synonym bor ekan o'qirlar. E'tibor beringlar. Easy, easy.
More recently, labyrinths have experienced something of a revival. Some believe that walking a labyrinth promotes healing and mindfulness, and there are those who believe in its emotional and physical benefits, which include slower breathing and a restored sense of balance and perspective. This idea has become so popular that labyrinths have been laid into the floors of spas, wellness centers, and even prisons in recent years.
Damn it. O'tkazib yubormi 8 da?
Prisons dedi уже.
Attention, baraka topkurlar. Attention, o'tkazib yuboramiz orqaga ketamiz.
More recently, labyrinths have experienced something of a revival.
Uyata.
Some believe that walking a labyrinth promotes healing and mindfulness, and there are those who believe in its emotional and physical benefits, which include slower breathing and a restored
Slower breathing degani breathing rate bo'ladi. Reduce the breathing rate.
sense of balance and perspective. This idea has become so popular that labyrinths have been laid into the floors of spas, wellness centers, and even prisons in recent years. A pamphlet at Colorado Children's Hospital informs patients that walking a labyrinth can often calm people in the midst of a crisis. And apparently, it's not only patients who benefit. Many visitors find walking a labyrinth less stressful than sitting in a corridor or waiting room. Some doctors even walk the labyrinth during their breaks. In some hospitals, patients who can't walk can have a paper finger labyrinth brought to their bed.
Paper finger labyrinth. Demak, paper bo'ladi. Paperdan qilingan finger labyrinth. Paper.
The science behind the theory is a little sketchy, but there are dozens of small-scale studies which support claims about the benefits of labyrinths. For example, one study found that walking a labyrinth provided short-term calming, relaxation and relief from anxiety for Alzheimer's patients.
Anxiety. Anxiety degani o'sha g'ashlik. Short from anxiety dedi, ha? Anxiety bo'ldi. Shu bilan bugungi darsimiz oxiriga ketadi. Sizlarga foydali bo'ldigan umiddaman. Agar foydali bo'lgan bo'lsa, YouTube'ga obuna bo'lib qo'yasizlar bizga. Anoni kolokольчикка bosib qo'ysanglar sizlarga qanaqa video chiqarsak ham yaxshi videolar chiqaramiz. Sizlar ko'ringlar, o'zing o'sha storiesga qarab ko'ringlar-da. Bizda faqatgina zo'r, foydali, yaxshi kontent bo'ladi. Obuna bo'linglar, o'rtoqlaringga forward qilinglar, shu qisqasi message spread qilinglar. Hammaga xayr. Sizlar bilan keyingi darsda, keyingi videolarda ko'rishguncha. Bye bye guys, that's it.